and open up your folding chair next to me.
Some turkey brine. Basically it's the Good Eats one, Alton Brown, just kind of screwed up a little bit because being a guy I don't follow directions or think I remember them and don't. So his has the brown sugar, peppercorns. His uses vegetable broth. I'm too cheap for that. And salt. There might be some other weird stuff he throws in his, but that's all I'm using. And then I'm adding orange juice, which is from his other brine recipe that I accidentally used in the turkey brine, and it was good. This time we're going to try a little cranberry juice, or cranberry juice sauce juice. So you start by putting in just some of the broth, brown sugar and salt, boil that until it gets all mixed together good, and then you add the orange juice and the cranberry juice. Just kind of boil that till it's all mixed, till the salt is dissolved, and then shut that off. You'll add some ice at that point to cool it off. You're not trying to add a lot of water or nothing, just enough to cool it off, and then you'll get your turkey and pour it in there. I put the turkey in there upside down because the breast is the part you see and want, and so I want that down in the brine. I don't really care about the back. Nobody ever eats that unless you're making soup. So, and then you fill it up, throw it in the fridge overnight or a day or whatever, and kind of cook it to his thing with a thermometer in the breast to about 162, then let it rest. Actually, his cooking, you'll look it up online, but you start out at 550 for half hour to brown it a little and get it going, no stuffing in it ever. And then you turn it down to like 350 for whatever it takes. It's usually another 2 hours from that point, maybe 2.5 at most, till the temperature alarm goes off. So I'm going to mix this stuff together. So first we're starting with, 3/4 of a cup of salt or so, not too much. Probably a good cup or so of brown sugar. That's more than he wants, but I like it. And then a whole bunch of peppercorns, not too terribly much there. And now we'll boil this till it gets pretty good and dissolved, and then we'll add the orange juice and the cranberry juice. I only used about 3/4 of a can of that vegetable broth, just enough to get things mixed up, and then we'll add the rest of it in here at the end to thin it all down. So we're just kind of boiling the salt and brown sugar now for a little bit till it combines good, and now we'll get ready to add the orange juice and the cranberry juice. We don't really need to boil those as much. They should combine pretty good. I've had them thawed out in the fridge, so usually I just get them out of the freezer, but this time I thought ahead. So we'll throw them in here in a moment. Now we'll throw in the cranberry juice and orange juice. Throw in a bunch of the rest of the broth, to whatever will fit in this pan, to kind of get it all mixed together here. We shut the stove off. We don't need to boil this stuff in there. It'll mix plenty good enough how it is. I don't really care about rinsing these cans because I'm trying not to add water, because the turkey would suck up the water preferably, and we don't want that. So we want our brine to be sucked into it. Kind of evil looking with that cranberry stuff in there, but it's sure going to taste good. Put some more of the broth in. This is just the end of that first can. I don't know if I'll pour the second can in here because it's going to be a little hard for it to get it into the pan where the turkey is without making a mess. We'll probably just add that other can of chicken broth to it right in the container we have to put the turkey in. I'll get that down here in a second. We'll go to the next step. And we've thrown a little ice in the thing to help cool it down. The container I use is just a 12-quart Rubbermaid little tub, and that's almost not big enough height-wise, but if it's any bigger you need more brine stuff, and that's kind of expensive and whatnot. It'd be nice if you found one of these that's just taller. It's plenty wide. Actually, I think they make one that's a little taller, and that way you could get the whole bird covered. I usually end up with just a little bit of it sticking out. That's why I put it upside down, so the back side of it is out you know, and the breast is fully submerged, because it kind of makes it a different color where it's brined and not and whatnot. So now we're going to clean and wash the bird off a little and then throw it in the brine. This is the turkey. We had one about a week ago and it's real good. Walmart had these 90 some cents a pound, and I was a little afraid of a different brand, but it was really good. So try it out. Okay, we kind of washed everything off. We cut that big flap of skin off the front here. It kind of lets the heat flow through. We don't put any stuffing in these because this whole thing kind of bakes from the inside also when that's open and flows through. So it takes a lot less time to cook and it's more consistent. Yeah, no, don't use stuffing with this. Okay, now we're going to flip that bird over and put the brine in there. We got the neck and somebody wanted the giblet, so we rinsed those off, and those are there and they can deal with them. So there's about how far the stuff we cooked up went. It's not filling it yet. Now we'll take that other can of brine of chicken broth we have and filled up. Hopefully that'll fill it the rest of the way. If not, we'll break down and add a little water, but we really don't want to add water. We'd rather fill it the rest of the way with chicken broth or such. And I probably should say that I sat it in the fridge before I filled it up the rest of the way. I poured that first stuff we cooked in there, and then I sat it in the fridge and filled it the rest of the way. And when I go to take it out of the fridge, I'll, you know, use a ladle and get some of that out of there so I don't spill it. And we'll keep a ladle here in the fridge and keep, you know, putting some on that top that's sticking out, but pretty much that part's going to be laying in the bottom of your pan anyways. It'll be fine. It always is. So we'll go from there.